Okay, hello Karin and hello Bernhard. Nice to meet you for this interview. In the intro, we saw Bernhard a few pictures of your system using greywater for curing vertical greening systems. Very interesting. Can you explain in a few words the system and the idea behind it?
So in a nutshell, we're using these 4 lines of vertical greenery to investigate the irrigation or the behavior of the plants when irrigating it with normal water and greywater, so raw untreated greywater, but then also we look into the possibilities of greywater treatment for reuse purposes with such a system.
So the system, when I get it right, the greening system is cleaning the water.
Exactly.
Okay, that's cool. But does the water need to be pre-filtered or pre-cleaned before I can use it for puring?
So generally with wastewater treatment, you always should have a physical or a mechanical pre-treatment step to get the solids out, to get the oils out, the grease out, especially when we're talking about greywater, which is the water from your household without the toilet. So you have bathroom sinks, showers, dishwasher, washing machine. And from the kitchen, you have, of course, you have oils and grease and solid particles, also from the shower, with hair, with fingernails, with residuals from your skin. So this, of course, should be removed before going into a biological treatment step.
And when you say that you are irrigating plants with this greywater, are there any limitations concerning choice of plants that you have to consider?
So I'm not a plant guy, but so what we see with the plants we have at our system, when we irrigate it with raw greywater, they do well.
Okay.
So it's mainly when you say, okay, you have 60 liters to 80 liters of greywater production per person a day. So you need a system which likes it wet when you want to treat all this greywater. So you would need plants which like it moist and wet.
So there is plenty of greywater available, is it correct? Or
I mean, every one of us produces statistically around 80 liters per day. So we can say if we do it in a water-saving way or live in a water-saving way, we may produce 40 to 50 liters a day. So it's still a good amount of water which can be reused for different purposes.
For nice vertical greening. Cool. After the treatment or the cleaning done by the plants, how clean is the water? Can I drink it, or what can I do with it?
Generally, we don't drink treated wastewater or greywater because it has not drinking water quality, but you can reuse it for toilet flushing, irrigation in your garden, even use it for the washing machine, cooling systems. Yeah.
That's very interesting. We saw your test site in the introduction video, and what would you say? Are there many systems like this already in place? And if so, would you find them more in the existing building stock or in newly built buildings?
So generally in Austria, greywater reuse is not done pretty much. And also, if you think the retrofitting of such a system is, of course, costly. And we need to find some ways of funding such a retrofitting purposes, or funding for this retrofitting purposes. For new buildings, of course, it would make sense to say, okay, we collect the water, like for big apartment buildings, we collect the greywater in the basement. We can also have a technical system with a low footprint in the basement for the treatment, and then we use it for different purposes within this quarter or apartment building complex.
Okay, when I look at your system, what do you think is needed to push the system more to the market? Or what is the research you're doing on the system?
I mean, in general, it all comes down to the cost. So vertical greenery is not so cheap. So in the end, again, if we want to have the co-benefits of such a system within our cities, mitigate urban heat islands, helping with well-beings, the well-being of people and such, we need to find some ways on how to fund it. And then, of course, it's about the repayment time for this kinds of systems. So look into the costs of the drinking water supply, the costs of the wastewater disposal, which is mainly higher per cubic meter than the drinking water, and then we can find a way on how to finance and fund such systems in order to make it possible for people to use them.
Apart from the cost factors, what would you say are the legal regulations that either hinder or foster the implementation of such greywater systems?
So in general, we use guidelines from the European Union, as well as different reuse guidelines in each country. So if you can treat, or not if you can treat the water to a certain standard, and then it's possible to reuse it for the given purposes.
Okay, and in case I want to buy such a system right now, what is important? What do I need to consider?
So, I mean, what you need to consider is the interest of yourself into such a system, because of course, when you say you put your treatment system at your house, you need to do operation and maintenance, and this can, of course, be a little bit discouraging people because they need to tend to the system. But on the other side, when you think of, you go to the toilet, you're having a shower, and you just flush away all this resource we're producing, and that someone else taking care of, we're just disconnected from what we are doing and how we are doing it. So in order to get this mindset back into a more sustainable future, I think it's good for people to get this, to reclaim the responsibility for what you're producing and deal with what you're doing. And then I think it's pretty nice to have such a system, to do the operation and maintenance of such a system, and then to be happy with the water you reclaim and reuse in your household from yourself.
Yeah, that's correct. Okay, thank you, Bernhard. Thank you, Karin, for this interview, and have a nice day. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much. Bye.
Bye.